Hit me, Dan.
Okay, going here from Elliot. What do you think the education system will do to counter the use of AIs like ChatGPT for cheating? I guess, you could also think about these Adobe AIs as well.
Luke and I talked about this afterward. I mean, I think one of the big things is going away from assignments that are write this thing and moving towards assignments that are more based around critiquing or validating a thing. I think that, I mean, you know what's interesting? I was thinking about this after we talked, and one of the things that we did in my like challenge English class was we would actually have to write the entire assignment in class sometimes.
Is that valuable?
Yeah.
This comes back to the calculator question.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
It's valuable for the teacher because
but
it
is it
shows
valuable for the student?
Oh, okay. Yes.
Like, is doing 5 times 5 valuable in a world where you have calculators?
But that's not what you're doing, because in this case, we're talking about essay writing. So what you are doing is you are practicing the process of making an argument, which, no, you are not going to be able to replace with an AI, because you're going to have to make arguments verbally as well. So you are training the skill of creating an argument, backing it up, and then summarizing your argument. That's what an essay is. And for the teacher, they are then marking not just your grammar and spelling or whatever else. They're marking your thought process, your ability to construct a cogent argument, which is arguably the most valuable possible life skill. If you cannot convey your ideas in a convincing way to other people, what possible hope do you have?
That's why we've talked about this before, when I found a teacher that wouldn't mark me on my punctuation quite as hard all the time, because there was no way I was going to ever get that right.
Yeah.
With the dyslexia stuff and whatnot. Like, it was always going to be a problem. So it was nice when he started grading on those things a little bit more. And that makes sense. You know what's something very fun to do?
Yeah.
Is ask GPT how classrooms should operate in a world that has GPT in it.
Oh, interesting.
It actually gives like pretty good answers related to kind of what you were just saying.
Oh, cool.
I wasn't actually in disagreement. I was just challenging the statement.
Yeah.
But like, it's...
I won't have to fire you.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
my job remains.
As long as you don't actually disagree with me publicly. That was an almost straight-faced delivery of that. I am 100% joking. I feel like I have to clarify that these days.
Good, I don't have to fire you. Yeah, it's interesting. It talks about just doing things in when it would be a problem, potentially slightly different ways.
Right.
Having people do observed original creation a little bit more, like you were just talking about. But it also talks about how in some cases, not that one, the calculator problem, like what is really the point if the point isn't something slightly alternative. Like maybe you should get them to do things that are more alike what they would do with this output, because output is not always going to be perfect, or it might not always be what you're looking for.
Yeah.
So you need to learn refinement, and you need to learn like
you could just grade harder.
Yeah.
Like that's another thing too. Like if the assignment is a book report on the Adventures of Tom Sawyer or something like that, you could basically tell them, look, you can use any tool you want, including an AI generator, but know this: if you get a plot point detailed wrong, or you have a spelling error, you immediately lose 50% of your grade, because I'll be able to tell you didn't read it. So you need to know the subject matter cold in order to tell if the AI output is actually accurate.
I like this one. Someone said have more in-class debate. That's an interesting one. There's maybe some problems with that. I don't know.
Yeah, not everybody participates in class, and like oral participation is sometimes it encourages the wrong people to participate too much, and doesn't allow some of the more thoughtful people, especially if we're talking like high school, some of the more thoughtful people to really share what they're thinking. There's no perfect solution. So what you really need is a balance of different approaches.
I think really the most important thing, and I've been surprised at how many don't. I've also been, okay, yeah, I've got a couple things to go over. I think it's very important that teachers are aware of its existence and that they
Yes.
don't necessarily continue following the exact status quo that they have been for a while,
Yeah.
because this is going to change the game. Something that I've been surprised about, people have been throwing around usage statistics. It got to 1 million users in 5 days.
Wow.
Which is pretty crazy. And they've been comparing that to other meteoric rises of other things like Instagram and Facebook and yada yada.
Sure.
I'm actually surprised it's not more.
Really?
Maybe the speed, like 5 days to get to 1 million. Okay, sure. I'm just surprised the number that it got to wasn't actually higher, because I'm stunned that like every student that
On
has
Earth.
heard of this is not immediately using it.
Yeah, because the window for using
Abusing
it, is very narrow.
Yeah, the education system is going to respond. They like have to. And it's still online now. It is now bookmarked and always open on my computer at all points in time, because I have started
Because
using
that's
it.
how he's always been doing his work anyway, by cheating, so he might as well cheat more efficiently.
I mean, if I could, why not? But like,
I've
because it's
never
not-
done a real
'cause
day's
it's not
work in my
school,
life.
If you can take shortcuts that are good, that like one of my best friends growing up used to. This is not how he said it, but he effectively said like being lazy is a virtue.
Yeah.
Because, and he's a back end developer now. It makes sense. Because he will find ways to like not have to do this repetitive task or whatever. It doesn't mean he's
For sure.
worse at it, but he's going to be creative and inventive to make it so that that thing is better or is now automated or whatever
Sure.
else. And like, yeah, you should use the tools you have. But I use it in place of Google search sometimes now.
Yeah.
I'm careful.
You got to validate.
You have to validate.
Yep.
But like, yeah, there's fairly simple things that I'll Google to try to get an answer for, and I'm like, okay, I got 3 ads. I got some clearly clickbaity websites that are just throwing like something that I hate doing is searching for reviews of like anything that isn't a section that has large creators behind it, because you're just going to get all these websites that are just like Amazon Click Farm websites
Right.
that just try to give you like, oh, this is the top 10
CBD oil.
whatever, it doesn't matter,
yeah.
snowboarding goggles, like scuba, whatever, like anything that you're looking for. It'll just be like, and what are they actually? Well, probably the top 10 products on Amazon, and every single one of them has an Amazon link because they just want you to use their affiliate so they can make money. That's all they actually want. It's not actually good. It's so annoying. So with like those types of things, it's nicer to be able to just ask GPT and have it spit out an answer
Yeah.
that is actually an answer right away. It might not be right, and you need to verify, and you need to make sure that it's not like complete crap, but it's usually, if you know that it will confidently lie, in my opinion, it's not that hard to notice when it is.
Yeah.
But you have to be aware that it will do that. Yeah.